All right, continuing on with our post-race media availability, we are now joined by our race-winning crew chief, Alan Gustafson.
Good job.
I knew I was going to mess that up. I'm sorry, Alan. Alan,
That's it.
obviously a big win for you and your team tonight. Jeff winning out here at Martinsville and you guys punching your ticket to the championship race at Homestead in the Chase. Just talk a little bit about the emotions and being in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty crazy day, so I don't even know where to start. There's a lot going on, so really excited. We knew coming in this was a big race for us, and we put a lot of effort into it, and we're able to do it. Not probably in the fashion we wanted to, but really proud of the fight and the fortitude of the team to continue to push and get ourselves in position to win the race. So huge win, and great opportunity now moving forward for Homestead.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start up front with Kenny and then go back to Mike.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. How concerned were you when that last caution came out?
Yeah, it was pretty concerned. The good news is I think it was timed where it was going to be a green-white checker, so guys with tires probably couldn't get to us if they got tires in that amount of time. The thing you worry about is a couple attempts, but I was concerned. I felt like if we were on equal tires to the guys around us, we would win. We could clear Jamie, and just for the fact of having the inside lane, I think Jamie was pretty good there at the end, but the inside lane is such a big advantage. So yeah, it was concerning. It always is. You just kind of got, from my seat, you just kind of hold your breath and watch.
One other thing, it seemed like there's always games being played on pit road where guys are holding up because they want to start on the inside. But it also seemed like there was a lot more going on with the two guys out front.
Yeah, it's not new. It's not new. I think that's been going on. People have done that in the past a lot. The JGR cars have really done that the most that I can think of. Working with their teammates and allowing somebody down, and the Penske cars were doing it very, doing a good job of it, and it was a pretty big advantage. And ultimately, that's probably what started the original melee there with Brad and Matt and Kurt getting caught up in it. So it's good. It's good. And I think it can be a good thing, but obviously you see what can happen if it goes wrong. And our stance on it, we've kind of stayed away from doing that Hennick Motorsports because you just don't know, right? You don't know what's going to happen. And I think this is an example today of what happens when it does not go your way.
All right, we'll go to Mike Neff.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. Seemed like with the temperatures this weekend, the track didn't take a lot of rubber throughout the whole weekend, really. So the rain, I don't think, made that much of a difference. Were you surprised? It seemed like everybody was saying the track tightened up significantly near the end of the race. Was that from rubber, or was it just that it was cooling down?
I think it was cooling down. No, I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, the last at least 2 years, we've struggled to lay rubber here. The first half of the race is really just survival, and so you can get a decent amount of rubber down to where you don't blow the rear tires off the car. And there was no different today, and I knew with the overcast and low track temperature that it was just going to be a struggle. Hopefully with the 16 package we can put a little softer tire to lay rubber down, because this place is, as you walk across the track, you leave the track, it's pretty wore out. There's pretty big aggregate in the track, and it just chews up tires until you get some rubber down. So I think the reason everybody started tightening up is the track, cooled off. And also at the end of the race, that's not unusual because the pace just picks up. You just got to go, right? You can't wait. You can't be rhythm. Middle of the race, it's smooth rhythm driving, and at the end, it's not. You got to get to the accelerator really, really fast, and that also generates a tight condition. So that's not unusual.
Any additional questions for Alan? We'll go to Nate and then Jenna.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Obviously, there'll be a lot of talk after this one about revenge, retribution, and that's been an ongoing discussion in NASCAR for the last 5 years, but the boys have at it stuff. Do you think is a lot of the garage going to be looking at how NASCAR handles this and how drivers and teams will treat each other going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on both sides of it, and it's not, it's a tough thing because when it happens to you, you feel like you've been robbed. I don't really know any other way to put it. And when you feel that way, not only are you mad and upset, but you feel like you need to stand up for yourself, because when that happens, the most recent one for me is Texas. It's just tough. It's just tough. So you kind of feel like you've got to stand up for yourself, or it's going to continue to happen. So I can see both sides of it, and I've been on both sides of it, and I don't have the answers. I'm glad I'm not the guy who has to make that call. It's part of the sport that's good, the passion and the competitiveness. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who worked really hard, really hard to put those cars in the position they were in on both sides. In particular on the 20 side and the 22 side. There's a lot of guys that work countless hours. There's a lot of guys at the shop. There's a lot of guys involved with that team that put in tons and tons and tons of effort, and they're both, they're the ones that are taking on the chin, in my opinion.
All right, we'll go to Jenna.
Jennifer, AP, Alan, how much have you guys believed that if you could make it to Homestead that you guys could win this championship?
Yeah, I mean, that's, really that's kind of how it all started. And we weren't running, that's what we had. That's really what we had to believe in, I guess. That's what our focus was. We didn't have the season we wanted to leading up. We didn't have the performance, and we just knew that we had to come together and just fight and claw for 8th, 6th, 7th, whatever it is, and not make mistakes and transfer. And the vision was always to come here with a chance, because we knew if we came here with a chance, not only could we win the race, which ultimately turned out that way, but even coming out of here with the top 5 finish was going to be a pretty big boost. You knew some guys were going to have problems. You knew you were going to have a point advantage if you could finish top 5. So the grand, thought was to come out of here with a win, and if not, in good points position to move on. So, yeah, I mean, getting to Homestead too, there's a lot to momentum. There's a lot to the positive energy, and everybody, I'm sure, in our shop will be there an hour early tomorrow, ready to go, working hard, and We've got a couple things we've got to do. I think we've got to get our Homestead stuff, try to get an advantage on that, because we've got 2 weeks to work on it. We also can use Texas now to try some things and get some more speed. So anything can happen. We saw that today. And I know we can run competitively enough to be right in the middle of the mix.
All right, we'll go to Jim Utter next.
Jim Utter, Motorsport.com. Alan, you've been a part of a lot of wins and championship seasons at Hendrick. What did you think of the response from the crowd and so forth today about Jeff? There's a time in his career when he didn't see that.
It's really probably the coolest thing about it, and even the last couple years, the success we've had, the one that kind of stands out to me is like when you win a pole, or even Talladega, right? As big as Talladega is, we qualify on the pole, and you can just hear the place erupt, and that just gives you I don't even know how to describe the sensation. It's just an amazing feeling. And then here the same way, you can hear the crowd. You don't even have to really know what's going on. You can hear the crowd, and you can kind of figure it out. And to me, that's one of the most satisfying things. It makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like you accomplished something that's really special to have the reaction from the crowd. And Jeff deserves that. I'm so happy for him that he's having that response, and he can remember these special moments in his career for everything he's done and all he's accomplished. And you guys know him; he's super of a person he is. So yeah, that's really cool. That's the one thing that no matter how many times you hear it or see it, like it's just sends chills down your spine. It's just a great feeling.
All right, we'll go to Brant and then back to Jenna. Second row. There you go.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. How much pressure has gone with this season trying to send Jeff out the way that so many fans and obviously you guys want to send him out?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because there is pressure there, but I don't really put any more pressure on myself this year than I do any time. You try to win, and you want to win for a lot of reasons. You want to win for Hendrick Motorsports. You want to win for Jeff Shirley on his last year. You want to win for our team. You want to win for yourself, and there's a lot that goes into it. I think the thing that's probably been more of an impact on me is just when we haven't performed the way that we want to in the way that I feel like we should. You just feel like you're disappointing people, and that's tough. That weighs on you. You sit there and I don't even know how to describe it, but you just constantly have that over you, and it's not pressure as much as, I don't know how to describe it. You just it's like your father when you're a kid, right? You want to please them and you want to do everything that you can to make everybody happy, and we weren't doing a great job of it. So hopefully everybody's a little bit happier now, and we can give everybody something to cheer about in Homestead.
All right, we'll go back to Jenna.
So you talked about the pressure of not disappointing people. Now you have this opportunity to send Jeff Gordon into retirement with a championship, which is like storybook. How is that pressure?
To be honest with you, I've thought about this. If I sat here and told you I didn't think about this, I'd be lying. You think about it, and I feel like I'm playing with house money now. Like, I feel like, we're in a good position that we can go there and just put it all in. Push it all in and go as hard as we can go, and not be tight or calculated or like this is something that I almost felt like when you're really, really good like we were last year, you almost try not to mess it up instead of go win the race. And now I don't have that feeling at all. I feel like we're kind of playing with house money and we're ready to go. We're a little bit of the wild card, so I'm embracing that and enjoy it. I think that'll help keep the pressure off at Homestead. It's going to be crazy, right? I mean, we all know that. So you just kind of have to settle in and understand that. But as far as the race goes, just focus on winning and race like you can't lose.
Final questions for Alan? All right, Alan, thanks for joining us and congratulations.